around the world and into your home. This is 2020 Downtown with Elizabeth Bartlett, John Quinones, Cynthia McFadden, and Jay Shabler. Tonight, December 30th, 1999. Wherever she goes, she turns heads. Not just because she's beautiful, but who wouldn't be awestruck watching what this young woman can do? Teach aerobics, care for her young son, adapting in wondrous ways to an unimaginable fate.
I remember times that I was mad at God, mad at the world, because I didn't want to be like this.
John Quinones with one of the most memorable stories he ever told. A rare woman. And imagine attempting suicide, then waking up alive.
Do you think now I'm going to die?
Yeah. I'm going to go to sleep and never wake up.
Survivors of their own destructive impulses. Why do some people try and try again, and others find a powerful new will to live? Jay Shabler with a story for anyone who worries about a friend or family member waking up alive. Plus, Gary Coleman, the little boy with the big smile. He was a megastar on different strokes, but it's been a tough ride ever since. Arrested for assault, working as a security guard. What happened to the millions he made on TV?
You were free.
Pretty much. I don't know where $18 million went.
Sylvia Chase tracks the rise and fall of a child star. Remember Gary? And now, from Times Square in New York, John Quinones.
Good evening. We're glad you could make it downtown. Tomorrow at midnight here in Times Square, it'll be ground zero for the New Year celebration. And as we stand on the brink of the new millennium, many of us are taking stock of our lives, counting our blessings, and taking a personal inventory. For that reason, tonight, I'm going to tell you an inspiring story about a woman whose list of blessings was short. She'd been dealt a staggering blow, but she refused to give up. Now is living a life beyond all expectations. When we come back, a woman you'll still be talking about in the next millennium.
Worried about Y2K? Get a new Buick. Why? Let's say the city goes dark. Buick's headlights come on automatically. Very clever. No heat? Dual climate control.
To get cozy in your comfy power seat and your portable TV and watch the test pattern.
During Buick's Not to Worry event, get a Century 2000 special edition with a Millennium offer worth $2,000. Just in time for the year 2000. No blow dryer? Sunroof. The exciting thing about this ride isn't the 90-foot drop. It's the woman in the front seat. She's got asthma, but she's got help. Help control your asthma with Singulair. It's a single tablet daily that's not a steroid. It's also available for children 6 and older. Ask your doctor about adding once-a-day Singulair and help control your asthma. Singulair should not be used to treat acute asthma attacks. Continue taking your other asthma medicines unless your doctor tells you to stop or change the dose. If symptoms get worse, contact your doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, flu, and stomach pain. Read the consumer information your doctor or pharmacist can provide. Help control your asthma with Singulair. Need more room for your tools? Here's a quick fix. Head to Sears now during the best time to buy. All tool stores is on sale, like this Craftsman Project Center, just $99.99. Save $60. Hurry before it's too late.
Act 1, A Rare Woman. Once again, John Quinones.
There's a woman I haven't been able to stop thinking about since I first introduced you to her earlier this year. She's young, beautiful, and absolutely mind-boggling. Because unlike so many of us who complain about the little things that are wrong with our lives, this woman has learned to live gracefully with an unimaginable handicap. Tonight, I want you to watch and bear witness to a most remarkable woman. She's a woman who lost her arm, but not her heart, not her desire to live a very normal life. Imagine how difficult these everyday skills are to learn. I want you to see the grace in her movement. And if you do, you'll feel the respect that I felt when I first met Barbara Guerra. Do the stairs bother you from people?
No, I don't notice them much. I used to when I was younger, and, you know, not liking the fact that I was different. It used to bother me. I'd come home crying all the time.
I traveled to Mesa, Arizona to meet her, to spend a day in the life of Barb Guerra, driving around town, talking, dining. In fact, witnessing in countless ways how remarkably normal this woman's life has become, beyond all expectation. Do you consider yourself disabled, handicapped?
No, I don't. Sure, I do have limitations, but everyone does. And I get dressed and put on my makeup and brush my teeth and fix my hair and cook, clean, drive, take care of my own son, everything.
Barbara Guerra has no memory of that tragic event that changed her life forever. She was only 2.5 years old, living outside Houston where this field now is. 20 years ago, there was an apartment complex here. It was a warm summer day.
There's not a day goes by that I don't remember that day. Barbie was outside with the neighborhood kids playing in the common areas of the apartment complex. Kids ran into the house and said, "Barbie fell."
It was so much worse. The door to this electrical transformer had somehow opened, and Barbie had grabbed the live wire.
She was laying down next to it, foaming at the mouth. Her eyes had completely rolled back in her head, and I looked at her hands, and literally they were burned to the bone. There was no flesh left on them at all. They thought for sure that she would not make it that night.
And I sat in the emergency room thinking, oh, dear God, if you see fit to let her live, I will do whatever it takes to make her into the best person she can be in life.
A mother's promise to a gravely wounded daughter, a promise kept to this very day. What was it like for a little girl to be without her arm?
If you look at pictures, it looks very sad at the beginning.
Do you think you were angry as a child?
I probably was, because I didn't want to be like this.
It was at the Texas Institute of Rehabilitation that Barbara met her first occupational therapist, Diane Atkins.
She probably was the most influential patient that I have had in 24 years of clinical practice. Barbie has an incredible spirit. She had it from the day that I met her.
It was the beginning of a very long road to recovery, learning to use her feet in place of her hands, starting with the very basics, like turning the crank in a jack-in-the-box.
For Barbie to be able to do that on her own, with her toes, turning that little wheel, and then as soon as suddenly the clown jump up, was very instantaneous, immediate gratification. She had amazing dexterity skills with her toes, and does to this day.
It was clear early on that the use of prosthetic arms was never going to work. They were heavy and awkward, and Barb seemed far happier using her toes. But how do you teach a child to turn her feet into hands?
I cried a lot of tears. We went to therapy, and Diane would show me a little bit what we needed to do. And I'd get home, and I remember getting her some chicken. And I told her she had to eat it with her feet. And I'm not eating, I can't. Well, then starve. And I had to walk away and make her sit there and figure out how she was going to do it.
It must have broken your heart.
It did. I'd go in the bedroom and I'd cry, and I'd pull myself back together, dry the tears, and come back out there. And 9 times out of 10, she would usually figure things out.
It was painful, but she was learning and gaining confidence with every new skill.
I wanted to be normal. And there were times when I just wanted to just not wake up the next morning just because I didn't want to go through another day.
You didn't want to live.
Sometimes. Sometimes I didn't want to live.
What got you through that?
My mom and dad's strength and prayers and support.
And looking at the things that you could do.
I played soccer, and I was on the swim team, and I was in dance, played the piano and the organ. That's
right, the organ. Here's Barbie performing at a church recital, playing Chariots of Fire with her toes. But for every victory, there were more challenges as Barb grew up. None harder than enduring the taunts of other children, and finally the social pressures of the teenage years. Through it all, it was Barb's mother who shared the pain.
We would sit in my room when I was, 12 and 13 years old, crying about, who's going to want to marry me, and how will I hold hands, and how will I wear a wedding ring, and how will I have a baby, and things I think all girls have concerns about, but I was really in tears about these things every night. She just didn't realize that she was beautiful. Because she was just a little armless girl that nobody would take out and the guys didn't date. And I knew her pain and I knew her heartache.
And yet, she was determined that her daughters would live a normal life. So determined that she fought for her right to drive. Barb's therapist and friend, Dawn Sweet, was there the day Barb got her first car. Another victory.
Driving a car, I think that was just amazing. We went down and picked out her car, and she drove off, and I'd pass her on the way to school, and she'd have her foot on the wheel, and she'd be waving at me with the other one in the car as I'm passing her.
And there's nothing special about her car. She drives with one foot on the gas and one foot on the wheel. Not a problem. What is hard is to hit the fast food drive-thru with one foot through the window and grab a drink without spilling it. She is remarkable to watch. Even the simple act of folding laundry is amazing. And all of this skill is the product of practice, of constantly working to improve her ability to do the things that we all take so for granted. She has come so far.
Do you ever lose those heartsick memories?
It's just easier. Now that she's an adult and I see her out there teaching aerobics, driving a car, being a great mom, doing all the things she's doing, it blesses me so much that I don't even think about those things anymore.
Barb has her own life now. She was married a few years back and has a 2-year-old son. She works in 4 different health clubs as an aerobics instructor. I could spend hours watching her as she moves through her day. Even signing a logbook becomes a complex series of movements as she uses her legs and feet in place of her arms and hands. But there's no struggling, no faltering. Her movements are quick and sure. But most touching of all is to see Barbara as a mother, caring for her young son, making his meals, sharing a snack, picking him up from school.
I think the toughest part is not being able to hug.
Do you remember being hugged? Do you remember hugging your mother and father?
I don't remember that. You trying to make me cry?
No.
No, there's no time for tears or pity. Barb Guerra today is a competent and happy adult with fewer limitations than most people I know.
My mom was the one who gave me the most support, I think. Thank you for being there for me and being strong and pushing me and making me mad at her. Thank you, because she got me where I am today. And I love her for it, and she's my inspiration. I love her, and I'm proud of her. But I would do it all over again. Every bit of it.
Whenever she can, Barb Guerra reaches out to children going through what she went through. She once asked a 13-year-old boy who had just lost both his arms what he thought he'd missed most. Playing basketball, he answered. So she took him outside and taught him how to shoot hoops with his feet. Coming up next, imagine being on top of this dam, rolling yourself off, and surviving. This man did just that. What's it like to wake up alive after a suicide attempt? Jay Shadler with how some survivors experience a rebirth.
These people have learned that if you don't give up on life, it won't give up on you. This is the wisdom of the ages.
My doctor said occasional personal dryness is natural. She recommended KY. I chose new KY Silk E. Nothing feels more natural. New KY Silk E with vitamin E from the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
Nobody in America sells more office products to more businesses than Office Depot.
You can shop our store.
Or you can shop our catalog.
We can shop online.
Office Depot, taking care of business. Time is running out on the year's biggest blockbuster, Toyota Van 2000. Don't miss edge of your seat action and red hot values on the year 2000 Toyotas. Now, it's all about time. Miss it, and you'll get left behind. Toyota Van 2000. And soon at your Toyota dealer.
Mama, honey, can you get me the baby soup?
Yes, Mama. I'm sorry, you're sick.
Oh, my honey.
Mama has a headache again.
It's not an ordinary headache. It's a migraine. And Zomig is migraine medicine you can take anytime during the pain. Anytime. Like when the pain begins. Anytime. Like when the pain worsens. Anytime. Even when it's full-blown. Zomig relieves most types of migraines. Talk with your doctor and call 1-800-374-2195 for product information and a free trial offer, plus an attack pack dispenser. Zomig is not for everyone. If you have certain types of heart disease or uncontrolled blood pressure, you should not take Zomig. Very rarely, some people without recognized heart disease may have serious heart-related problems. So talk to your doctor if you have risk factors for heart disease, such as smoking, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, or if you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medication. Zomig. Take it over migraine pain anytime. There will be a next one. One who changes the game by control, by speed, by power. The NHL on ABC.
Final answer? You win $250. You're right, way to go. $25,000. The winner is... He's won $1 million.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire returns January 9th on ABC. Act 2, Waking Up Alive. And now, Jay Schaefer.
Charles Dickens could have written the script for the holidays when he began Tale of Two Cities with this. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Because the fact is, this season brings both great joy and deep sadness to many people. Tonight I want to introduce you to two people who felt that sadness and made the decision to end their lives. What happened from the moment that they made the choice to commit suicide to the wonder of their awakening is the lesson of this story.
How many pills did you take?
There's 3 bottles full. You know, there was a lot.
Did you think, now I'm going to die?
Yeah. I'm going to go to sleep and never wake up.
Patricia Elder had been shadowed by depression her whole life, haunted by an unforgiving childhood memory.
When I was 2.5, my dad killed himself. And so I was indoctrinated with that as a way out from the time I was a child. I thought I killed him for years and years.
That smoldering self-hatred finally ignited on a spring night in Elkton, Oregon. Patricia, now a wife and mother, took an overdose of sleeping pills and slipped from the family home. As she ran down this road in front of her house, even the cries of her own daughter's voice were fading with the light.
And I have this vivid memory of my daughter standing in the middle of the street, screaming at me, "Mommy, Mommy, don't go. Mommy, I'm scared. Mommy, don't go."
You still can hear her voice.
You know, I've never lost that.
Neither has her daughter, 25 years down that road.
It makes me somewhat angry because it makes me think, doesn't she care about me? As you can tell, it still bothers me.
Resisting the pleas of her daughter and driven by the need to end her own pain, Patricia ran down the main street of her hometown. In the haze of her overdose, she took refuge on the banks of the Umpqua River. Here, beneath a towering bridge, she waited for death.
She's very, very divorced at this point from a sense of reality.
Dr. Richard Heckler knows every detail of Patricia's story. For 10 years now, he's been researching cases of suicide attempts, looking for patterns. Patricia, for instance, had drifted into a hypnotic-like state Heckler calls the tunnel, where the suicidal person is literally numb to touch, deaf to cries for help.
You can't underestimate the power of this kind of trance.
Who is she at this point?
She's somebody who has purchased a ticket out of pain and believes that she actually boarded the train and is now relaxing for the journey.
But Patricia told me that her plan was shattered by the sound of bloodhounds. Her family was searching for her. To avoid the rescue, she scrambled to the top of the bridge.
So I jumped up on the railing, and I was on my way off, and they caught me.
You're literally leaping off the side.
Right.
And someone grabbed you.
Right. I mean, I was fighting, and they put a straitjacket around me.
For the moment, Patricia had been saved. But waking up alive can be its own nightmare. Just ask this man.
This is like one of the worst hells imaginable, you know, and you try to kill yourself and you fail at that too. You're a waste, you're a loser, you're the worst.
Ed Gallagher's suicide attempt left him a quadriplegic, a cruel fate for a star athlete from a small town who had made the mistake of holding a secret too long. This 275-pound All-American lineman from the University of Pittsburgh was big, mean, and gay.
At the time, I thought I had to categorize myself. I felt I had to live up to a certain jockish image, and, you know, I had to keep it inside because if I ever made fantasy a reality, it would destroy me, I felt. And actually, it did, almost.
In 1980, Ed tried out but was cut from the New York Jets. Finally free to remove the mask he'd worn all those years, he began venturing into New York City's gay neighborhood.
Occasionally he would go into a bar, he would have a drink very quickly and go out. Until this one evening, where he met someone, and for the first time in his life, he went home with another man.
Just went to his place up around 30th Street, and I had never even kissed the guy or did anything, let alone had done anything like that, so it was okay. I was fine with it at the time.
But within hours, he was haunted by guilt and fear. A mysterious new plague, soon to be known as AIDS, was sweeping the gay community, and Ed mistakenly believed he had contracted it.
Am I gay? Am I a faggot? I convinced myself that I was a piece of crap, that I was unworthy of life, that I had, you know, had destroyed everybody's vision of myself, including my own. And that thing's just spinning out of control, you son of a bitch. Take one last measure of control and take yourself out.
And so he drove here, to a dam 27 miles north of New York City. In its 70-year history, it had acquired a bleak reputation as a suicide haunt. No one had ever survived the fall.
And I walked out towards the middle, which is huge, you know, it's probably like 120 feet down.
And he lay down, and he whispered, "God forgive me."
I said, "God forgive me." And I just rolled myself that way. And from what I'm told, like I hit once, I hit twice, and then down like 30 more feet or so.
Ed Gallagher survived his fall here, but barely. His final injuries were massive and permanent. And Patricia Elder had survived too, saved in those last frantic moments on the bridge. But the sheer brutality of their suicide attempts did not shock them into wanting to live. That's a common assumption about suicide, like the myth that wanting to kill yourself is the act of an insane person. Actually, quite the opposite may be true.
You know, people who are suicidal are right in a way. Something really does need to die. The great mistake that they make is thinking that it's them.
There was a big part of me that wanted to die. The whole sexual confusion and the whole thing with trying to understand, you know, AIDS and gayness and everything. That part wanted to die. I didn't want to throw away all of Ed Gallagher, but at the time, I didn't know how to save the whole apple.
What impressed me about Dr. Heckler's research is that people who come to the brink of death and find a will to live share a set of common traits. Among them is the decision to ask a series of simple but powerful questions.
Why did I live? Is there some meaning in my life that I'm not aware of? Is there some purpose?
Curiously, Ed's moment of awakening came weeks after his attempt, when surgeons, worried about the possibility of infection, told him to prepare to have his already paralyzed leg amputated. Panic brought revelation. You're paralyzed from the chest down,
Yeah.
but you wanted to protect your leg.
I know. It was still a way of remaining whole even though I was in a wheelchair. It gave me the fuel to try to make a change and make something out of this second chance at life.
What surprised me is that Patricia Elder's recovery began the morning after her suicide attempt with a doctor's simple act of compassion.
I remember him telling me, we're not going to talk about what it is you tried to do last night. He says, I know you're not feeling really good right now. And then he just, somehow I felt like he really saw me. I felt connected again.
In fact, unconditional support for the person who is suicidal is essential to most recoveries.
Before you can fix somebody, you need to join with them. Before you can change their sense of direction, you need to walk with them for a while.
What's more, contrary to common belief, research shows that openly talking about suicide rarely triggers an attempt. Silence and isolation are far greater threats.
Every day of silence is like putting a stick of dynamite inside your chest. And sooner or later, it's going to explode in your face. But at the same time, as you're saying, what part of you wants to die, we also have to really focus on what part of you wants to live.
This man who had once locked himself inside his own mental prison was now designing his own escape route. He began hosting a local cable TV show and even landed a small part in a network soap opera.
Not about to listen to some kid fresh out of med school give us a sermon on how to be happy in a wheelchair.
But the role that cemented his recovery came not on a stage, but a classroom.
Now, I'm just going to share with you a little bit about my history, and I don't know.
Drawing from his own tragedy, Ed developed a suicide prevention program for young people.
Say I'm the best-looking guy you ever saw. Say it. Are we going out tonight? Are you paying? You know, Joe Cool doesn't wait for anyone, right?
No one knows more about the dangers of wearing masks than Ed, which in turn frees the students to tear off their own.
My sister Kristen is in wheelchair, and she got hurt when she was 10, and she's been 4 years already. I could just imagine what goes on in her head. Like, she always says things to me like, do me a favor and throw me in front of a truck. Like, I know that she wouldn't want to kill herself or anything like that. But I mean, I guess it's hard for her because...
I think these kids can relate. A lot of them are just looking down like this because, you know, feelings are very confusing. And I think they just have to find someone they can trust.
Most of your days now, you feel good.
Most of the time,
And that's an honest answer.
That's an honest answer.
Patricia Elder has also had an awakening. After therapy and a move to the Colorado mountains, she began using art, just as Ed had, to explore herself.
For the first time, I decided that I was going to try just drawing from inside out. And so I sat down, it was really scary, pencil and paper, and decided I'll just let something emerge. The first one I did was the tree angel, and it worked. And this is What Me Worry.
What's that mean?
That's what that means. Right, What Me Worry.
Life's not that bad.
That's right.
Of course, neither Patricia nor Ed are free of dark days. Sad reminders haunt, and the blues still come. So what has changed for them?
Many things. They have a very healthy respect now for the power of the suicidal trance. But also because of going through the experience they did, they have a desire and a delight in life.
Let your song fill the world, fill your soul, fill my soul, and inspire my song to greater richness.
And that came from a person who was within a breath of killing themselves.
Yeah. Comes from sticking around.
I found degrees of contentment in life, but it's an uphill climb. It is. I'm very thankful for my family, my friends, and a lot of people I've come into contact with, and that means a lot to me. But my own personal happiness is a huge project to work on still every day.
Some sad news about Patricia Elder. A few months ago, just as she was getting ready to go to Britain for a short stay, she had a stroke, which has left her unable to paint or draw. Amazingly, despite the misfortune, she told us she's not had a single suicidal thought. And now she's eagerly awaiting the birth of her daughter Michelle's first child. When we come back, remember Gary Coleman from Different Strokes? What happened to his fame and his fortune? Sylvia Chase with a child star who fell on hard times.
Who walked away with Gary Coleman's million?
I still don't know.
This Friday, celebrate with Enrique Iglesias in the world, ABC 2000.
I know you'll think this is crazy, but all I want to do is hold you.
If you look in your heart, if you search in your soul, you will discover the promise of love.
No falling on cedars. Rated PG-13. Now playing in select cities nationwide January 7th.
Just when you think you have the latest computer, you don't. But for $37 a month, get an Intel Pentium 3 processor and a free color printer with the Gateway PC. And with the YourWare program, trade it in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
Sooner or later, you're going to quit smoking. So consider this. A quick date this good won't come along for another 1,000 years. Don't waste it. Quit with Nicoderm CQ. CQ's got the 3 gradual steps, and hundreds of thousands of smokers have already quit with it. Wasn't 1 millennium smoking enough? Start the next one with Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Burlington Coat Factory's After Christmas sale is on now. Drastic reductions on tremendous selections of ladies' sportswear and dresses, famous name menswear, outerwear, kids' clothes, plus thousands of ladies' coats and jackets priced an additional 40 to 50% off our original low prices. The quality and designer labels Burlington Coat Factory is famous for are now priced significantly lower. Burlington Coat Factory's After Christmas sale, open New Year's Day.
Working together, we've made enormous progress in reducing drunk driving, but last year, alcohol-related fatalities still claimed the lives of almost 16,000 Americans. So if you choose to drink, drink in moderation and choose a designated driver who doesn't drink at all. Remember, the designated driver is the life of the party.
This Friday, Boris Yeltsin addresses the world as Moscow crosses Y2K. The Queen lights a beacon on the Thames. There's a tribute to Nelson Mandela from South Africa, and millions begin celebrating in Europe. And that's just one of 24 incredible hours. ABC 2000, Friday, starting at 4:50 a.m. Eastern Time.
The rise and fall of a child star, Gary Coleman. He made 70 grand a show. What happened to his millions? And what's he doing on this website? When 2020 Downtown continues after this from our ABC station.
Downtown Portland may be one of the safest places to be tomorrow night. Even hotels are setting up war rooms to make sure everything goes okay. Good evening. I'm Kathy Marshall.
And I'm John Marlowe. Also tonight, Seattle canceled the party, but the fireworks will go on. They are being prepared.
Plus, Idaho will celebrate with hot air. Details at 11.
The Ross After Christmas Clearance. Everything you wanted for Christmas but didn't get is now available at huge savings. The Ross After Christmas Clearance on now.
Celebrate with the world. Here on K2, the power of 2000.
If you want to go where the road ends and life begins, then head to your Northwest Ford store for the best selection of sport utility vehicles on the planet. Like Explorer, the best-selling SUV in its class, with control-track four-wheel drive and available V8. Right now, get $1,000 cash back on a huge selection of 2000 Explorers. Plus, with 3.9 financing, save over $2,700 in interest. When it comes to SUVs, your Northwest Ford store is your outfitter.
In the name of progress, man has given up more and more control to the machines of his own creation. Perhaps it is time to take some of it back.
1,000 reasons to join KATU on New Year's Eve for last run and first run.
Dude, I've already given you 500 reasons. You need more? Accessorizing the Little Black Dress tomorrow at 9 on AM Northwest.
Act 3. Remember Gary? And now, Sylvia Chase.
Bright lights and high energy followed Gary Coleman around a generation ago. A youngster who was a big star in the television comedy show Different Strokes. When my story about him first aired on 2020 last May, he wasn't a star anymore. Like so many child actors, he'd run out of luck and money. But he grinned when I shook his hand, and he was just as cute and cuddly as Arnold, the TV character that started it all.
Welcome, gentlemen.
How about that, Willie? Downtown 2 minutes and already with Jimmy.
The series was canceled 13 years ago, and Gary Coleman was largely forgotten, until he was arrested in Hawthorne, California, and hauled into court earlier this year, charged with assaulting a fan twice his size during an argument over an autograph.
So I thought, if I distract her with a blow, I can sleep. So I hit her.
Coleman was sentenced to anger management counseling, but the sight of the former child star in court made us wonder, what happened to one of America's favorite TV personalities?
This is the stage that we finished the last year Different Strokes on.
The story of Gary Coleman's rise and fall is a Hollywood classic, about a star who makes millions as a child, only to discover as an adult that his fortune has vanished. Today, Coleman works for wages, and not always in the movies.
I'm not ashamed of making an honest living. A dollar is a dollar, whether it's 1,000 of them or 100 of them. Whether it's, work as a security officer, which I have done, and I am not ashamed of, because it's a job. Hey, gentlemen, that's a good game. Keep playing it.
While Gary Coleman used to make millions laugh on TV, today he amuses only a few at a time at Hollow World Cafe, a restaurant and game arcade in Pasadena, California, where he also serves as celebrity spokesperson.
Let's go play laser tag.
In a crowd of children, Coleman fits right in. So he's 31 years old now.
Gotcha. Sorry, birthday boy. I had to do it.
Coleman started life in Zion, Illinois, and his growth was stunted by kidney disease. He had his first kidney transplant at age 5.
Even when I was 5, I was, the do or die, never say die, the tenacious I'll be back, kind of person. That was the kind of kid I was.
Despite his illness, there would be no limits for Gary Coleman. The performing bug bit at age 6, first in fashion shows. Then came catalog work, which led to his first big break, a TV commercial for a Chicago bank.
You can never save too much money.
A talent scout soon came calling. Gary was off to Hollywood. He appeared on The Jeffersons and Good Times.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm your nephew.
I thought, hey, this is a whole new adventure. This is cool. This is fun. And wait a minute. I get paid for this? It's that kind of thing. I never in my wildest dreams that I ever thought it could get bigger than that.
But it did when Gary was cast in Different Strokes, the story of a widowed millionaire who adopts 2 brothers from Harlem.
You on my word.
He's a prodigy, really.
Conrad Bain played the elegant but gentle adoptive father.
He had comedy timing right from the first line of the first episode. I've never seen a black goldfish before.
That's okay. He never saw a rich white man before either.
It was pretty much an instant success for NBC.
Garth Ancier today is president of NBC Entertainment, a 21-year-old rookie back then. Ancier was the network executive in charge of Different Strokes.
For NBC, Gary was a megastar in prime time because he had the highest rated comedy on our network.
And the winner is Gary Coleman.
Gary won a People's Choice Award 4 years running.
Gary almost became the voice of NBC in prime time. this small, very funny, very articulate young man.
Well, what can I say?
And in the big years, 30 million watched Gary Coleman week after week, and he got raise after raise. From $1,500 per episode the first season, he went to $20,000, then $40,000.
And somewhere along the line, it became $70,000 per show. Yeah, it just kept growing and growing and growing, and, you know, and then the movie started in 1979.
The Kid from Left Field was Gary's first TV movie of the week. And there on the set, Dion Neal.
He was always the little brother that I never had, and I was the sibling that he never had.
They remain friends today, and it is Neal who has seen Gary Coleman through the bitter disappointments of his adult life.
His first kidney that was transplanted actually disintegrated in the early 80s, and that was Gary's first stint on dialysis.
Dialysis cleansed Coleman's body of waste, which his failing kidney could no longer handle. The 15-year-old had a tube surgically implanted so the dialysis could go on without interrupting the production schedule.
He had this huge plastic bag, it had to be that long, full of this dialysis solution. And he had to fill the cavity of his abdomen with that and then drain it out every 4 hours and refill it.
And he never complained.
Never once. Never once.
But when Coleman had another kidney transplant, which soon failed, it was a major setback.
It took a toll on Gary. I mean, he really, really was a burdened child.
What was he burdened by besides his health?
The entertainment business. Gary had not one summer off from the time that he began Different Strokes. And every consecutive summer hiatus, he was required to do a movie of the week. He never had a break. He wasn't really allowed to enjoy the happy-go-lucky lifestyle of a typical child.
People don't know what it's like to be on a television show. You are a prisoner.
Paul Peterson should know. On the Donna Reed show, he played her son.
This bill will cover...
He now heads a minor consideration, which advocates for the rights of child actors. He once did a movie with Coleman and was stunned by what he observed.
What was happening?
He was sick and shouldn't have been working.
Sick? How?
I saw him throwing up, and I saw particularly his father saying, "You got to do this, Gary, you got to do this." And I watched the whole crew standing around with a sick child in front of them doing nothing.
Gary's parents say it never happened. W.G. and Sue Coleman say they have been denying stories like this ever since they were involved in a lawsuit with their adopted son. They no longer speak.
He was sick. He has always been sick. He was born sick. He's always going to be sick. But he also was sick when he was not working. He decided that he wanted to do these movies.
When your child is sick on the set, throwing up, rejecting his kidney, on dialysis 4 times a day, that's the time for parents to step in and say, Gary, no. No movie of the week this summer. You should rest. Why didn't you do that?
You don't know whether we didn't do it or not because of someone else is telling you that we didn't do it. Yeah.
Well, did you?
Yeah, we did that.
Maybe we did push too hard. It wasn't intentionally, and it was not dollar signs on our part that we were pushing for. It was what Gary liked, what he loved, what he was happy doing.
It made a lot of people happy when Gary Coleman was working, because so many were taking a piece of the $18 million he grossed during his years on Different Strokes. His parents became his personal managers and took the biggest cut, 20%. His agent, Vic Perillo, 10%. His business manager, Anita DeThomas, was taking 5%. His 2 lawyers, Harry Sloan and Larry Cuppin, were taking 7.5%. So, even before taxes, almost half of Gary Coleman's earnings were gone.
Everybody wanted a piece of me. Everybody wanted a piece of the show. Everybody wanted to be a producer. Everybody wanted to be a consultant. Everybody wanted a piece.
But one piece was supposed to be set aside for Gary Coleman alone. California law required that 25% of his income go into a blocked account. All told, Coleman figured he'd made enough to be set for life when Different Strokes went off the air after 8 seasons. But there were signs he had a lot less money than he thought.
I kept getting told, don't spend so much. Don't spend so much. Don't spend so much. Why? I wasn't getting it. I just wasn't getting it until I finally just said, you know, enough of all of you people. Sick of all you people. I don't want to hear from any more of you people. I wanted accounting. I want it now.
In the end, Gary Coleman went to court to get that accounting, which is how he discovered that all the payments to lawyers, business managers, agents, and even his parents had substantially depleted his fortune.
Kids get robbed blind in this town. It's ugly.
Attorney Drew Rice was on the legal team that investigated Coleman's finances when he sued his parents. He found out that even the money set aside for Coleman's use alone had been diverted.
They went after the money that should have gone into the blocked account.
They went after Gary's 25%.
Right.
Rice's investigation showed that Coleman's parents and business manager had gone to court time after time to receive permission to divert money from Coleman's blocked account. Millions were put into complex real estate deals, an office building in Denver, this strip mall in Colorado Springs, and this building in Salt Lake City.
Every dollar of that money is gone. Every dollar. Gary never gets a dollar back.
Why did you end up with so little?
I don't know. I'm not a bookkeeper. I was not an accountant. I didn't handle any finances or anything. All we did was sign documents and gave our approval, but only if the court approved it.
One of the documents they signed was this one, petitioning the court to move funds from Coleman's blocked account to a pension fund, which was worth more than $1 million by the time Gary turned 18.
He turns 18, and then there's the final accounting before the court. Within 60 days after the accounting, I mean, just like that, $772,000 goes directly out of that pension fund right into the accounts of the parents.
How much did Gary get?
Gary's piece of the pension fund at that time was, I think, $330-something thousand. So they got twice what he got.
Wasn't aware of that.
You didn't know that?
No.
I was not aware that money was going to be taken out of his blocked account to be put into a pension plan for us.
Did you get paid the $750,000 of the million?
Not that we know of.
Well, they claimed they never saw the money. When they were taken to court by their son, in a suit which also accused his business manager of fraud and professional negligence, the judge found the Colemans had, in fact, received $1.3 million they had no business taking. There was a confidential financial settlement, and in a final irony, the money came from the insurance policies Gary Coleman had paid for. Today, he lives modestly in a condominium in Los Angeles.
You were fleeced. Pretty much. Who walked away with Gary Coleman's millions? You know, even after the lawsuit was concluded, I still don't know. I don't know where $18 million went.
So Gary Coleman, who has been in love with model trains ever since his first little wooden one, now has to make his purchases on layaway. Nevertheless, he remains the very definition of a survivor.
How do you escape being bitter? I don't. I chose to be in this business. Ill-informed as I was, I chose to be in this business, and I will forever honor that choice.
Last August, Gary Coleman filed for bankruptcy. His former business manager declined to talk to us for this report. But when we come back, Sylvia is going to tell us about Gary's new gig. He's auctioned some things off on the internet, including himself. This woman bought a night on the town with Gary for a lot of money.
It's not the wholesome image that we think of when we think I don't do wholesome. I'm 31 years old. Wholesome must die.
Tums is the most popular antacid in America. Tums is recommended by more doctors than any other antacid. Tums is so safe, it's recommended for pregnant women. And so healthy, it's taken as a daily calcium supplement. So before you think about taking something slower than Tums, like Pepsid HC Gel Caps, which are every bit as slow as regular Pepsid, think again about
Well, it rained.
State of emergency has washed away roads.
For 3 straight days it rained.
Series of storms coming.
Then the levee broke.
4-foot wave wash through town, tore everything up.
Oh, a lot of people lost everything.
Everything they had. Another problem was we had all this water.
But you couldn't drink a drop of it. That's when the truck from Miller rolled up. I see it and I'm thinking beer.
Beer?
Beer? But it was water.
They stopped bottling beer?
They stopped bottling beer and bottled water for us instead.
Miller, part of the Philip Morris family of companies, donated thousands of gallons of drinking water to disaster victims last year. For decades, Philip Morris has assisted communities in distress all around the world.
Actually, I could have used a beer right then. But that's another story.
Working to make a difference. The people of Philip Morris.
Look, Howie, your favorite. Smith, how can this cost more than $1? It's a piece of rope.
You can't get anything for $1 these days.
I get a 20-minute call for only 99 cents.
Have you been standing near the catnip?
Oh, he's talking about 10 cents to 20. It's only 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes and just 7 cents a minute after that.
All day, every day.
That's cheap.
Oh, yeah. And the best part is no monthly fees. No monthly fees.
Good. Those can be very irritating.
Dial 1010-220. 2020 Downtown, the newest member of the 2020 family, now in its 21st year. Winner of over 350 prestigious awards for excellence in broadcast journalism.
Friday, ABC celebrates with the world. And what would New Year's Eve be without him?
This year's blast will be the biggest party ever.
Don't miss a minute, Friday.
He ruled the ring and bowed to no one. Now the story of how the Great One came to reign over his domain is an ABC original motion picture event.
I'm the greatest. I haven't been beat ever. I am king of the world.
Muhammad Ali, King of the World, ABC Monday, January 10th. If you only see one politically incorrect this century, make it this one. Bill Maher takes on Joan of Arc, the leader of the Spanish Inquisition, Napoleon, Freud, and Mussolini. The politically incorrect one-hour Millennium Special, tonight on ABC.
Because we need to fantasize about things that we really want. Maybe because your head wants to. Because our mind is like a puzzle. If you didn't dream, you just sleep and you wouldn't think about it. But your super ego and your ego at night when they rest a little, dream.
Announcing the Nissan year-end countdown event. For 10 days only, Nissan is offering $1,000 holiday cash and 2.9% APR financing for up to 60 months on all Nissan Altimas, all two-door Frontiers, all Sentras, and all Pathfinders. Plus, you have 14,000 minutes to get 2.9 APR financing for 60 months on all Quest, Maximas, and Frontier crew cabs, too. So what are you waiting for? Get $1,000 holiday cash and 2.9% APR financing. But hurry, it all ends January 3rd.
Act 4, Gary's new gig. Once again, Sylvia Chase.
The next time I caught up with Gary Coleman, he was just as scrappy as ever, even though he had recently declared bankruptcy. And he wasn't getting much work as an actor either. Still, he was hard at work this month in New York, escorting a North Carolina woman who paid $4,000 for an evening with Gary Coleman at the notorious Lucky Chang, where all the waitresses are men. Coleman's bawdy New York evening was cooked up by a website he works for these days. UGO.com. Talk about different strokes. Much of the material on this website is so smutty, we couldn't let you hear it. For a guy whose reigning romance has always been trained, it's quite a departure. I visited the website. Some of the stuff is questionable. I mean, it's not my image of Gary Coleman.
I'm trying to break that image. That image must die. If that image doesn't die, I cannot move forward and do other things, do other new things. So I will always go to the edge and look over, but I'll never jump.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit smutty. I mean, dirty, dirty.
Yes.
Well,
I don't have a problem with it. Everybody seems to enjoy it. That's what they go to the internet for.
it's not the wholesome image that we think of when we think
I don't do wholesome. I'm 31 years old. Wholesome must die. Otherwise, I'll never be able to do any cool bad guys I'll never be able to do any cool characters of any depth, ever. Because people still think of me as Arnold on Different Strokes. We're not having that. There is no more what you're talking about. I don't do it. I won't do it. You can't pay me enough to say it. Hey, this is Gary Coleman with TLC. Enter the new Gary.
A quote-unquote internship on a Tucson morning drive time show is now part of his life. And other recent pursuits suggest the old Arnold is definitely trying to grow up.
Hi, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
On The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, he was acting as procurer for band leader Kevin Eubanks.
Hey, man, how you doing?
On The Simpsons, he's cast as a security guard.
Please, Mr. Coleman, we can explain.
So what's the new party animal planning for those moments when the hourglass empties on the 20th century?
I'm going to be in my bunker until somebody knocks on my door and say, Gary, it's January 10th. You can come out now.
Is it safe to say you're going to be spending New Year's Eve quietly?
Oh, yeah. Quietly behind triple locked doors.
And Gary Coleman is apparently not the only American who plans to stay in tomorrow night. Despite all the millennium hype, an ABC News poll found about 3/4 of us will be home or at a friend's for New Year's Eve. By the way, if you'd like to talk online with Gary Coleman, you can, right after our program tonight. And it won't cost you $4,000. Just go to our website, abcnews.com at 11 Eastern Time, and you'll be there waiting for you. We'll be right back.
Pioneer Courthouse Square is nearly ready. Police will be out in force for Portland's Year 2000 party. Good evening, I'm John Marlin.
And I'm Kathy Marshall. We'll be checking the party forecast with Rob. Here's a preview. Cold and damp for the big celebration.
There's more next at 11.
Rolling Stone, USA Today, and Roger Ebert call Magnolia one of the best films of the year. Winner of 2 Golden Globe nominations, including Best Supporting Actor, Tom Cruise.
You are here for me to enlighten you.
Newsweek says Magnolia towers over most Hollywood films this year.
Shall we drink to that?
Rolling Stone calls it a near miracle.
This close.
And Joel Siegel says Tom Cruise is a revelation. Magnolia, rated R. Now playing in New York and LA, January 7th everywhere.
Oh, my goodness! What's that?
You don't see that every day.
There's a one-stop source to get rebates and warranties. Howto.com, your rebate and warranty headquarters.
I may look young, but I still suffer from hot flashes. I discovered a natural way to deal with it. New Healthy Woman from the makers of Monistat. Healthy Woman is a soy menopause supplement that helps relieve hot flashes in a natural way. New Healthy Woman.
Just a short time from now, it will be New Year's Eve, and the new millennium will be nearly upon us. At 5 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow morning, it will be midnight along the international dateline in the Pacific Ocean. And ABC will go on the air at 4:50 a.m. to bring you that first midnight and all the others around the world. We will begin broadcasting the single most ambitious live television event in history. 24 hours of continuous coverage, anchored by Peter Jennings, right here in Times Square. And I'll be broadcasting from South Beach in Miami. Join me and all of us here at ABC for an around-the-world celebration of the next millennium. That's our view from Times Square tonight at the end of the 20th century. I'm John Quinones. For all of us here at 2020, good night and have a happy and safe New Year.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
30 years of making Monday night special. This week, San Francisco, Atlanta.
Parking restrictions go into effect in downtown Portland in advance of the big party.
And the New Year's celebration, Boise style, next at 11. Worried about Y2K? Get a new Buick. Why? Let's say the city goes dark. Buick's headlights come on automatically. Very clever. No heat? Dual climate control. To get cozy in your comfy power seat and your portable TV, and watch the test pattern. During Buick's Not to Worry event, get a Century 2000 Special Edition with a Millennium offer worth $2,000. Just in time for the year 2000. No blow dryer? Sunroof.
Top of the hour, time for a quick weather update. Clouds moving in tonight, some moisture along with that, so some light rain in the forecast, and temperatures getting close to freezing. So, tricky forecast, we'll talk about it on Channel 2 News at 11, coming up.
This is KATU, the power of 2000. Now, Channel 2 News.
The turn of the century is just a little more than 24 hours away. Tonight, Portland is preparing. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kathy Marshall.
And I'm John Marlett. The biggest night of the year is only a night away. Last-minute preparations are going on throughout the city. The hot spot is downtown Portland, where as many as 50,000 guests are expected. We sent Sheila Hamilton to see how people are getting ready. Sheila?
John, the Y2K frenzy is creating some unusual opportunities. Some major hotels in the area are suffering some last-minute cancellations, and that's creating vacancies for people who never thought they'd be able to get near a hotel party. There's a lot of other stuff going on as well as people kind of shake off that last Y2K jitter and get ready to count down to 2000. The lights are up, the balloons are poised, and the Hilton Hotel is ready to host a bash of the century. But in recent weeks, talk of terrorists, bombs, and Y2K frenzy has caused some partiers to pull out.
Well, sure, we're disappointed because we would like to have better occupancy, more people stay in the hotels.
But downtown hotels like the Hilton could be one of the safest places to bring in the new year because of the extensive preparations. A war room with 30 managers handling every Y2K concern that could possibly arise.
Everybody has a portion of the hotel where they're going to be stationed.
And there will be additional security at every door with access provided to hotel guests only. Another merchant is going one step further. David Margolis plans to board up the windows of his fine jewelry store, not taking any chances on the most hyped night of the year.
If we wouldn't have seen what happened in Seattle with the WTO and the anarchists, we wouldn't have even started this, because I hopefully think it will be a big family fest.
And with the mayor and Portland police briefing merchants today on the extensive security measures and traffic control, many people are beginning to breathe easier. What do you think it'll look like tomorrow night with 50,000 people? Jody Stahanzik and her law partners are throwing a bash with 60 of their closest friends. The views will be Portland's party, the dress will be black tie, and the security will be first rate. Portland's police have booked one of the office floors for surveillance. We're not only going to have the best view, but we're going to be the safest. And with safety concerns addressed, Portland is finally ready to party. Now we want to remind everyone again, John, that this is a no alcohol, no weapons, and even if it's raining, no umbrellas in the square. Back to you.
No umbrellas. What's going on? Sheila, thank you very much.
Security restrictions are already in effect around Pioneer Courthouse Square tonight. At 6, city crews began bagging parking meters in the 25 blocks around the square. Tomorrow morning at 7, barricades will go up to keep vehicles out. At noon, that area will be cleared of people. Pedestrians will be allowed to enter starting at 5, but only through security checkpoints. At 7, downtown MAX service will stop between 3rd and 18th Avenues.
The bottom line, parking in downtown Portland promises to be at a premium tomorrow. Many downtown parking spots will be off limits because of the security restrictions. Starting at 1 a.m., there will be no parking on city streets in the area which goes from 5th to 10th Avenues and from Washington to Salmon. You will have access to parking garages inside the no parking boundary, but plan on paying a bit more. Some lots have already started charging double or more.
Doing some free charge, which is we're going to charge them before time. And it's going to be like $10 to get it for the whole night.
$10 tomorrow night. Any other evening, it would cost you $2. If you go downtown, you can avoid a parking problem by taking TriMet. Bus rides are free after 6 p.m. tomorrow.
We invite you to join us for our